Sometimes art is prophetic, and sometimes I don't know how to offset it. The words too authentic to constantly do what I do and augment it. Y'all talk a big game, can't tell if y'all meant it. As seconds turns to minutes, the ticking will tell all. Will you hold firm or steadily fall? Will you conform with the ways of the world, or will you give the world everything that you are? Make them fuckers move around you, kinda like sound do. Break out of everything that they had you bound to. You got knocked down, ho, get ready for round two. It's round two. Get ready for round two. Come back, run rap, run laps around these cats, jump back, kiss myself, still keeping me intact. Weird and black, they for that, hold up, steer it back. Weird and black, they revere that, yup, you hear that?
Turnstile, switch it up. Young nigga raised hard, he learned not to give a fuck. Young nigga came far, still never give enough. Coming with the flavor, delicious, so she lick it up. Bust down, stick it up, I put it down, so pick it up. Scud town, saviors, done some till he shift to musk. Stench so stank that the shit compares soft to us. Crud so dank, make your face smell, you dripping, cuz. Club go shake when the bass gets to hitting ya. They ain't really hearing us, but they gon' feel something when the way is paved clear enough. I don't fear nothing but the fate, is God's real or not? Well, fuck it, got the world in my hands, and that's real enough. Fuck it, got the world in my hands, gold forms to touch. Might just spend it all one time to give it all to us. Give it all to us.
Yeah. This that hip-hop body rock, hardcore karate chop, neo-Nazi nasty, not feel it in my chest. How could you wear that name? Must be automatic shame. He's an automatic lame, heard it from the best. Fresh flow, let's go, plus I got a lot of heart. It's necessary when you dabble in this art. Grab canvas, paint picture, use them acrylics, paint a picture so vivid the people gotta feel it like the Kaaba. Lyrics bear fruit like guava, words spilling out of my brain like lava. Spills out the top of a volcano, and they know that A-Right is not the one to play. No, I'm Kano in Mortal Kombat, cause the lyrics like blades. Aim it at your juggler when I'm on stage. Until you heard me spit, homie, you ain't heard rage. On another chapter, so turn a turn. Okay, got that out my system. A-Right on another planet, dog, you must have missed them. When I do it, how I do it's of my own volition. Go make my destination even in the worst condition. My crew's the Blues Brothers, cause you know we on a mission. Eternity of ghosts I make bumping in your system. I mean, banging it, and I'm still hanging in it. I got a gang of wisdom, I got a gang of rhythms, I got a lot of soul. I found the pot of gold, I'm wrapping that shit up, gon' sell it to the globe. I got some game to give them, they don't really want, but they really need it. And I want you to succeed, I want you to be free. I want you to remove every obstacle from being what you truly wanna be. I truly wanna see, and I can only lead by example. So here's a sample from me, so get up.
the one drinking beer. I'm drinking water.
2 touchdowns a game?
Yes, in the game.
You're tripping.
How high? No,
Greatest fucking Super Bowl time. I don't know what we're doing in that front office, man. Twiddling our fucking dick.
Ryan, I just need you to drink this. Wide receiver trivia. That's what she said. Fuck.
Her upset.
Are those crutches?
You can see Ryan's crutches in the What is going on, folks? Welcome back to After Further Review. This is episode 186. I am your co-host, Jamin Brown.
I am your favorite son of a bitch, Mahlon Dennis.
And I'm your other great co-host, all the way from Sarasota, Nestor.
There you go.
And your favorite first half guest, we've got Junebug Spade making a return. What's going on, June?
What's up? What's going on?
Glad to have you
Happy to
back
be
in the
back.
saddle, my man. It's
Yeah.
been too long. Folks at home, if you want to join us, we open up this show every week by taking a shot. Well, most of us do.
Hold on.
I didn't even plan that. That was perfect.
Oh, this is one of my full ones, Jalen. Oh, shit. Okay.
Ooh.
Here we go.
Filled that one right up.
Got a little heavy-handed. Okay.
And I got me a little twisted tea in here. So
Oh,
Nice.
You ain't gotta lie, June. That fits 2 twisted teas. You ain't gotta. It's a,
all right. Folks, if you did not know, if you're brand new to this show, we are an NBA and NFL podcast. We live stream this show every single Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. If you want to click the first link down in your description below, not your prescription, down in your description below, you will be taken to the YouTube version of this episode. Give the video a like and subscribe. That way you can be notified every time we go live on Wednesday nights, just in case you forget. So be sure to do that. You can also keep up with all the videos that we make on YouTube throughout the week. And without further ado, let's get into the first topic of the week, which is giving each of our teams a grade for how they drafted last week. Done with the 2024 NFL draft, came and went, and now everybody has a pretty good idea, at least on paper, on what their team is going to look like heading into this next season. So we've got Cowboys fan, Pats fan, Dolphins fan, Seahawks fan, possibly Commanders fan joining us in a bit. We are going to just run through each one of these teams and give a self-grading here. So, June, you being the guest here, let's start with your Cowboys. What's the grade and why for your Cowboys?
I'm gonna give the Cowboys a B, a solid B. I mean, they drafted for need rather than flash. If you take Tyler Guyton, they did perfect. They moved down and they picked up a draft pick for him in the first round. That's what you're supposed to do at that spot. You pick a guy who has a first round grade but a low first round grade, and you move down. You got to save that money somewhere, and you need a lineman. This guy is a big guy. He's a lineman. He's 4-year starter in college, so solid pick. Marshawn Nealon actually had a defensive end. Actually had a first round grade. But as you saw, defensive players were not the topic of the night. It was all about the offense. So they actually picked up a first round defensive player in the second round. And then they picked up another a guy who I really like, and that was Cooper Beebe. Cooper Beebe is one of my favorite linemen in the draft because the guy, first of all, he's a hardworking 4-year starter, smart, intelligent, and another guy that had a first round grade, and the Cowboys get him in the 3rd round. So if you look at that, what the Cowboys did, they got a lot of value late in rounds. And rounding out, if you go into the fourth pick, you take Maris Lifu. I can't say his name, but the excellent starter and linebacker out of Notre Dame, fast, quick off the ball, and he comes from that family, the wide receiver from the Rams, their cousins, and the guy, I forgot what his name was.
Jalen Ramsey.
No. The wide receiver for the Rams, the rookie wide receiver from the Rams is past Pukanua.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. If he's like his cousin, then this guy should be out there being a hardworking guy and making a great. So I give them a B. Did they go out and get the running back that they should have? No, but I saw them bringing in a bunch of running backs. They picked that kid up from Missouri who was a 4.3 speedster, a guy who didn't get drafted. They picked him up as an undrafted free agent. I don't know why that guy didn't get drafted. I know running backs aren't in the biggest demand, but that guy was a 4.3, and I saw him at the combine. I was like, wow, this guy first, second round, and the guy didn't get drafted at all. So I don't know what happened to him and why he fell out the draft period, but they brought him in. They're gonna bring in some more. As you saw, they brought in Zeke. They brought the King back. So the King is back. So they brought Zeke back, and then I guess they're still talking to Dalvin Cook. So for the Cowboys, it's a solid B. It's just a solid B for me. I don't want to go too high. I don't want to go too low, but I seen some people give them an F. I seen people give them a D, a C minus, but I said, no, it's not that bad. They got a lot of value. So I get the Cowboys a B.
Is there anything you didn't like about the Cowboys draft?
Yes, I'm gonna tell you this. I thought even though they picked up Tyler Guyton, it was a great pick. I think the guy still would have fell to the second round. I wish they would have traded down one more time. I wish they would have did what the Bills did and just kept trading down and just picking up extra draft picks. I think if they would have traded down one more time into that second round, I think they still would have got Tyler Guyton and still would have got all the picks. So I think they missed out on that opportunity to pick up more picks in this draft.
Let's go to Nestor next. How do you think the Dolphins did?
Well, I'd say a B minus. I'm coming around the idea of Chop Robinson because I feel like the dude is really an athlete, a freak of an athlete. He didn't have a lot of sacks, but I think a lot of what he has is a high ceiling. I think if he's coached well, he can do a lot. And then once you have Chubb and Jalen Phillips back, I think we can have something special on our pass rush. So I'm not as pessimistic. I know a lot of Dolphins fans didn't like the pick, but I'm actually coming around the idea, and I hopefully the guy proves us wrong because that's what we need. I like that we're not very excited about that pick because the only thing he could do is possibly just prove us wrong. His stats when it comes to like his pass rushing they're off the charts. They're pretty good. So I think he was like number second, like second or third when it comes to like the 2024 draft, like edge prospects. So I think the kid is gonna be fine. I just hope he booms, honestly. I didn't understand why we picked another running back, but I'm strangely happy because the only thing that could possibly do is give A-Chain some competition for the number 2 running back. So seeing what happened last season, where A-Chain came out of nowhere, there's only what could happen? Even better things when it comes to like our running game. So thank God for that. I like that we beefed up our O linemen. Like we got some protection for Tua because God knows we need that. And I do like the Malik Washington pick. He's not a fast wide receiver, but he's a dude with good numbers. So overall, I think we did okay. I would have liked us to, do something different when it comes to our, online and defense. But overall, I think we did fine.
Go ahead, Mahlon.
I mean, are we all going to be homers and say that our team had a B draft? I kind of feel like it's going that way. So we're all going to say B. Even if Ryan was sitting in here, he'd give his Commanders a B. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do as a fan. You're supposed to find the good in it. I mean, Nestor's wondering why they draft a running back, and it's because both his running backs got hurt last year. The Cowboys got June convinced that everybody on the draft board was a first round talent. I was gonna go like C plus B minus on the Seahawks. When you can pick up someone like Byron Murphy at 16, which realistically should not have been there, 14 out of 15 players picked before the Seahawks were offensive players. You had your pick of the litter on defense, and Mike McDonald being a first-year head coach, defense, Baltimore wants that nose tackle that he could put anywhere on the ball. I love Byron Murphy. I think he's a stud. Coming out of UT, who knows all about Byron Murphy?
Mm-hmm.
He's hungry, man. He does not mind putting himself out there that he wants to be great. When Aaron Donald retired, he replied to that with, "It's my turn now." I was like, "Dang, dude, like you ain't even been drafted yet, and you're already claiming." And he has a similar build like Aaron Donald. He was told that he's too small, his arms aren't long enough, but all he did is just beat the hell out of people. He's hungry. He wants to win. The last time he put on a helmet, he caught a big old fat L from a Washington Husky. Sorry about that, June. But I love that pick because we need defensive line. Like when we were great with the Legion of Boom, we had a rotation on the line that was stellar. And the quarterback didn't have time to throw the ball, so they were making mistakes throwing into great coverage. So I think Byron Murphy's is great. Christian Haynes, I saw a lot out of him at the Senior Bowl, just pissing a lot of D linemen off because of his physicality in practice at the Senior Bowl. Comes out of Connecticut, not a whole lot of talent coming out of Connecticut, unless you play basketball. So we'll see how that translates to the NFL. And I do like Knight that they picked up, the linebacker. What kind of made me? How many defensive backs do we need? Like we already have so many defensive backs. We have the we got the best, rookie defensive back from last year. We still got Woolen. We still got Michael Johnson. We still got all these players that are routinely healthy too. And we signed a couple in free agency, and then yet we still draft two. I'm like, I don't know why we keep drafting defensive backs. John Schneider is in love with defensive backs. He drafts so many of them, but he seems to be right on them. So they'll probably end up good. But I'm like, how many do we need? And I'm a little bit upset that I'm hearing that we're back in talks with the Prez, Jamal Adams. We're actually talking to him about possibly coming back. But if he comes back, I think it'll actually be at linebacker is what they were talking about. So he'll be great for 18 plays before he gets hurt for the year. But, I mean, all in all, I guess the two people I'm most excited, or three people I'm most excited about are Byron Murphy, Trice Knight, and then A.J. Barner, that tight end out of Michigan. Huge stud, great blocker, soft hands. Was always making plays for J.J. McCarthy whenever he needed it on third down. So I think he's going to be a big safety blanket to go along with Noah Fant for this offense that Grubb wants to run. He utilized the tight end at University of Washington a little bit, but it's only because he didn't really need to utilize the tight end much in his offense in college because he had three, wide receivers that got picked in the draft, and Michael Penix throwing the ball out of Washington. It beat Texas. So I don't know. It's dude, I'm never gonna let it go, man. I'm never gonna let it go. I lost the national championship game, so that game was my national championship game. You guys will be better off in the playoff next year than my Huskies will be. So I gotta have my fun while I can. But yeah, C plus B minus because we drafted position to needs outside of drafting 2 more defensive backs. But I do love Byron Murphy. I understand why they did not trade back at 16 when you could get a top 5 to 7 like first round grade, not who was actually going to get picked because everybody loves the quarterbacks. But as far as talent, should have gone in the first 7 picks. You can get that at 16, take it. So I'm happy with that.
All right. For my Patriots,
Tell us why you love Derek May.
that's Drake May to you, sir.
Drake May.
That's right,
Who I'm
Drake May.
already dubbing Drizzy Drake May.
Oh, jeez. You already bought his jersey, didn't you?
Not yet.
You did. But you're going to.
Aubrey Drake May is his name. I'd give my Patriots an A. This was the first draft in several years that I was really, really happy with. By the end of the weekend, I was like, that's great. Out of the 8 picks that we got, 7 of them are all on the offensive side of the ball. There was no kickers, no stupid shit that took place. It was all addressing areas of need. Get a rookie QB, get him some new guards, make sure he's protected, beef up that offensive line a bit. We also got some stud receivers. This is the first time I was actually like happy with the receivers that we got. They weren't just some dudes that nobody's ever
Didn't you
heard
guys
of.
pick McMillan?
Yeah, we got
You got McMillan, right?
we got Polk from
Polk. Yeah, Polk.
yeah.
Polk's a stud, man.
Yeah, I was so happy to have him.
At worst, he'll be a number 2. At worst, he'll be a number 2.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. We're gonna keep Kendrick Bourne, of course. He's coming back, which I'm fine with that. But I think that Polk and May should blossom into a really good connection. I want to see some back shoulder stuff between those two. I think they could be a very good combo. And then we picked up Javon Baker out of UCF, and that was a great pick that we were able to get in the 4th round. I was surprised that we were able to snag him too. And I know our track record with UCF receivers is not the greatest, but I'm a big fan of his. So hopefully, he works out pretty well. So the moves that we made was like very clear that they're going to take Drake May. They're going to make him the franchise quarterback, no question about it, and they're going to support him with a beefed up offense. It was just straightforward, made sense. Everything that they did seemed to point towards we want Drake May to succeed and have a relevant offense in 2024 and beyond. So, yeah.
Now, can I ask you one thing, Jalen, before we move on? And I wish that Ryan
He'll be here shortly.
down the way in here because I want to hear about him with the Commanders. He's been eating wings for 45 minutes. Drake May versus Michael Penix. You took Drake May at 3. Falcons took Penix at 8. I know you wanted Penix.
Oh.
What did the Patriots see in May that made them take him instead of Penix? Do you think?
I'm assuming, I think they probably were a little spooked by the health stuff. And I also think that they wanted, they probably were leaning more towards the Josh Allen and Justin Herbert comp more than what Michael Penix brings to the table. Even though I'd rather have Michael Penix, I understand the logic there.
Okay. My only fear with May is that he ends up like another Trubisky.
Yes.
I don't want to see that happen. I don't like your team, but I don't want you guys wallowing around in 4th place for the rest of your life, even though that's probably what you guys deserve after Belichick and Brady. But yeah, I don't know. Can I ask you guys a question while we try to rate on Ryan? Because I really want to hear what he thinks about the Commanders. Michael Penix going to the Falcons when they just signed Kirk Cousins. Good idea. Bad idea. What do you guys think?
Falcons are just stupid. Like seriously. I mean, what do you think you would? Okay, I understand. They didn't think Penix was going to be there. I get that. They had to get a quarterback. Kirk Cousins was out there. I understand that. But now that you got Kirk Cousins, I understand he's 35. He's probably got 2 good seasons in him. I understand that. But if you take a 35-year-old quarterback, why don't you just go ahead and get him an offensive line first? You know what I mean? In a couple of years, you're going to have Manning coming out. You're going to have Archie Manning coming out in a couple of years. You're going to have Quinn Ewers next year. You're going to have all these quarterbacks coming out next year. Michael Penix Jr. is going to be a decent quarterback in the NFL. He really is. I don't know if the Falcons are the right organization for him to be able to come out and do it with. They make too many mistakes. They don't know. I just don't understand what the Falcons were thinking. They had so many other needs. I mean, what do you? And here it is. Today's NFL. You take a top 10 quarterback. You expected him to start on day one. It's not like the old days where you're going to sit 3 years behind a veteran quarterback. No, today's standards with the money that's being spent on rookie quarterbacks, they're supposed to start day one. Supposed to come in and start, whether they get beat up or not. So now they go to Falcons again, spending money that they don't have. And so I don't know. It's just a bad move.
Here's why I think it's good and bad, Jalen. If you have Kirk Cousins with Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, right? You got some studs on that offense, right? I can see the Falcons wanting to take a quarterback when they can get him, because when you have Kirk Cousins, if he's healthy in the next couple of years, where are you going to be picking in the NFL draft? You're probably winning your division.
Right.
You're not going to be close to the top 10 again. So then you're going to have to give up a ton of draft capital to try to get somebody. So I understand it. What I don't understand is their reasoning for it when they said that, well, we didn't know that Penix was going to be there at 8. Who thought that Penix was going in the top 10?
Right.
Especially when they signed Kirk Cousins, Michael Penix was being talked about being a second rounder.
Right.
He was going to be there at 8. I do get that the Raiders were trying to get into the top 10 to get him. I heard that even the Seahawks had made a little bit of a push to try to get into the top 10 to get him before the Falcons had drafted him. I mean, I do think he's going to be a great quarterback, so I get why they did, but here's the bad. By the time Michael Penix starts to play, London's going to be wanting a new contract. Bijan Robinson would have been coming off his 3rd year, going into his 4th year. We already know that we're not giving a whole bunch of second contracts to running backs we pick in the first round. Kyle Pitts is already going to be gone because they're not going to pay him the money. The playmakers that the Falcons have now that Kirk Cousins will enjoy for the first couple years, maybe 3 years, that talent isn't going to necessarily be around Michael Penix, so I think that hurts him a little bit. And so that I don't like about it. But I do think that him being there, and listen, he gets to take all the first team snaps right now. Kirk Cousins is still coming back from the Achilles injury.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wouldn't it be crazy if he balls out so much that the Falcons are left like what the Seahawks did back in 2012 with Russell Wilson when they signed Matt Flynn to that money? What's up there, Ryan?
Mm.
And wings were money. But what if? But you know what I mean, Jalen? Like, what if they pay all this money to Kirk Cousins, but what if Michael Penix does so well that Cousins doesn't even end up seeing the field?
Right.
He's gonna have the whole offseason to himself. Cousins can't play.
Yeah.
And it goes back to the money, and that's why I said they just wasted money.
Yeah. The idea that they weren't expecting Penix to be there was just the dumbest thing I've heard. Like, who was expecting Penix to go in the top 10 anyway?
Nobody.
It made no
Nobody.
sense. So I don't
It
know.
was only
Thought
after
both-
Pro Day people were talking about him maybe being in the top 10. But nobody had him in the top 5.
Yeah.
So now we get to hear from Ryan himself, Mr. Ryan.
Yes,
sir?
ladies and gentlemen, Ryan here. I don't think he's been on the show since.
In a couple years. No, I think he's been on one other time since our studio incident.
Yeah, he may have been.
I think it's been one other time since studio, but we won't bring that up, Ryan.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
So Ryan, we're giving our teams grades for how they drafted. If you could give your Commanders a draft grade, what would you give them? If you want
really
to grab
needed-
your mic, bring it up to you there so people.
We really need an offensive tackle, and I didn't see that until the end. We could have used it maybe second round or third, but I wish Morgan was on the show because he would explain it more. But we really needed an offensive tackle. We didn't get it till the end. But I would give my team maybe a B plus.
Okay, you're optimistic as well then.
B plus because of I don't know his name, Daniels, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how he
Jalen
does.
Daniels.
Hopefully, he won't make the same mistakes that RG3 made. But we'll see how the season goes.
Oh man, you and Morgan must have been feeling yourselves that year.
I definitely was. I had a jersey. I had it hanging on the walls.
Okay.
Got injured.
So what I'm really hearing is that nobody on this podcast needs to be buying jerseys, because after we do, they get messed up. Whether it was Shaq, Jalen, I know you buying all kinds of quarterback jerseys.
I pre-ordered. I
You
pre-ordered.
got COVID and was never the same. Look at him now, wearing scarves and big ol' ass hats. Mess with that man.
It had to be 2013 when I bought that jersey,
That sounds about
and
right.
he got injured, and I was just like, all right,
Yep.
I can't wear this now.
Oh man. Okay, so you need Jaden McDaniels to stay upright.
Yeah,
Yeah, step
let's
one.
just hope that he learns to go out of bounds when he's running, not try to run into a grown man.
I mean, personally, I would appreciate it if the Washington, whatever they call themselves, didn't mess up another Heisman Trophy winner.
Right.
That'd be pretty neat if we could see them in the NFL a little bit longer than 12 games. Yeah.
Hopefully, our coaches,
Wouldn't that be
even though from
that would be the third one, right? You had Hugh Schuler, right? Hugh Schuler, RG3, and now Jaden McDaniels.
And I forgot about Heath Schuler. He pulling out the 90s right there with Heath Schuler.
yeah, before my
That's
time.
Hey, during that time period, he was my favorite quarterback. I was living in North Carolina, and he was from North Carolina. So I watched him in high school, and then he went off to Tennessee, and I was like, that dude is one of the best I've ever seen.
Ain't nobody watched him in the pros because he was God.
Hopefully, our season will be good. Hopefully, Dotson's gonna be better, and our defense is better. I know we got some pros, but hopefully, we're better with these Cowboy coaches.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Exactly. Good luck.
Thank you.
There's a reason why we got rid of him.
I'm guessing he's a Cowboy.
Right.
Oh my God.
Right.
Hey, I'm a Cowboy fan. I live up here in D.C.
Oh yeah. That's because you guys run DC. DC's Dallas Cowboys.
Basically.
Shout out to G Money in the chat. He said Heath Schuler forgot about Heath Schuler. All right, let's move out of this into the next topic, which is just kind of getting a pulse on where the playoffs are at right now, the NBA playoffs, as the first round is coming to a close. The Celtics have already advanced. The Pacers have advanced as of just a couple hours ago. And the Knicks might advance here tonight. I guess it depends on what happens here. But yeah, let's start off with the fact that the Lakers, or let's start off with the Minnesota and the Phoenix series first, with the fact that Anthony Edwards, Cat, Rudy Gobert, all those boys swept the Phoenix Buns in an easy 4 games. Kevin Durant, I'll let you guys go here, but I just got to say it. That's the second time he's been swept now that he's not been a part of the Golden State Warriors. It's 2 different teams and swept twice. I think that's kind of embarrassing. And if it was LeBron James, ESPN would never shut up. So I'm just leaving it at that. But anyway, what do you guys think about Minnesota taking care of business? June, you want to start?
Yeah, I watched a couple of games of this series. Of course, it's hard to watch the West Coast games when you're on the East Coast, but I watched a couple of games of this series, and Kevin Durant just looks old now. And I thought Phoenix was going to be that team this year, and they just didn't have it. They didn't gel at the right time, and now I'm seeing the reports that Kevin Durant said, "Oh well, I didn't like the way that the offense was played out. I didn't like playing. He didn't like his role playing, with the guys on the team. So Kevin, I don't know. That team's just disappointing at this point. It's just, I don't know what Kevin Durant is going to do right now. I thought he was a good hired gun, and he's not even being a good hired gun right now. He's just a guy on the team right now. Just another guy. So, I don't know.
I think his injuries messed
Shout
him
out to
up.
Minnesota. Shout out to Minnesota, though.
I think his injuries messed him up a little bit.
Mm.
He looks like was he 35? I mean, he looks his age right now.
Yeah.
It looks like Kyrie Irving's Uncle Drew, doesn't he? That damn hair. He should probably just go bald. Like even Michael Jordan knew when to shave it. They didn't have. More modern science with LeBron James. LeBron James. Whew, Jesus. All of a sudden, this man has a line. Never had a line. Now he has it. No, it's weird with the Suns though, because they go to the NBA Finals, and then they have like another run back, and they're like, okay, well, this isn't working anymore, Chris Paul, and you end up getting Kevin Durant, and then it's like the team got worse.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's almost getting to the point like who was more detrimental to Oklahoma City? Was it Westbrook or was it Durant?
Right.
Like were they always destined to fail as a squad because those two? Neither of them have been able to produce anything outside of Oklahoma City except for Durant owing to a team that had already won a title and then it lost to LeBron James. Now, Kevin Durant was the best player on those two Golden State Warriors teams. Like we can't argue that he was. He was also the Finals MVP. Those two. But everywhere he's gone since, man, they just implode.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Booker. I mean, at this point, like break your nose every month and start wearing the face shield because that's when he went to the finals the last time. With the face shield, like just do it. But Dallas, the only thing Dallas is missing is Patrick Beverly jumping on the scorer's table and throwing his jersey into stands like they won the NBA Finals. That's the only thing that Minnesota's missing. Yeah, that's the only thing Minnesota's missing. Edwards is hilarious. I love that man. I love him because he's like, I can't wait to get to the Olympics and rubbing in Durant's face. I'm like, dude, that's classic. But I mean, Minnesota's got a good squad. I feel bad that it's Minnesota because they're not going to be able to keep them because they're a small market team. So they got a couple year window before, I mean, when are we going to see Edwards in a Lakers jersey is what I'm asking. Like at some point, he's going to be in a Lakers jersey. Like he's going to be in a Lakers jersey or a Heat jersey. Somebody. Stop it, Nestor. I saw that. But it was really telling that Phoenix had one shot to win a championship a few years ago, didn't win it, and the window was never really truly open after that. And they got a lot of question marks. But I kind of feel like they're going to run back the same tired ass team they ran out there this year.
Nestor, what'd you think?
Few things. I think Cat and Anthony Edwards are just dogs. Guys are just the hustle they have, and the fact that Devin Booker had 49 points and it didn't even matter. This goes to show that
an indictment on Durant than anything, but that's fine.
I don't even know. Rudy Gobert, like I keep saying how underrated he is as a defensive player on that team. It goes to show how deep of a roster Minnesota is, because guys like Mike Conley, they have Jaden McDaniels. I don't think Frank Vogel has any idea of what to do. He talks about the details, but I'm not sure if he knows what detail to go after first. And that's
what the details are.
That's a mess because there's too many details.
He says details. I'm like, is it a thesis? Like, what are we talking about when we say details?
That's not what they need. They need to figure it out quick. But I just think their best chance was in 2021, and that shit failed. That was their best chance, and that shit has sailed. Besides Booker and Durant, nobody else contributes. I don't know what they're gonna do, but Frank Vogel has to go because he has no idea what he's gonna do next.
I will just say this for you, though, Jalen. I will never forget Gobert for shutting down the NBA back in 2020 with his "we don't believe in COVID" shit and coming down with COVID, and the whole thing got shut down. The Lakers won a championship in the bubble because of Gobert. 100%. 100% that happened. And second, you're right, Jalen, that everyone is roasting LeBron for losing to the defending NBA champions in 5 games. Yet the Suns get swept, and everyone's like, well, Durant gets a pass. Like, the only thing getting a pass is his calves because they're non-existent. So, let's stop it.
Yeah, that's a good segue to the fact that the Lakers did go out. They were able to win a game. But, I mean, the fact that LeBron was able to lead his team to at least one win to avoid getting swept against the defending champs, I think that says a lot. And he's damn near 40 years old. It's like KD couldn't have gotten just one win. And the thing that was really kind of egregious to me was that Anthony Edwards has made it quite clear that he looks up to Kevin Durant. And the fact that he just dogged him for 4 games straight just gave it to him. He was seeking him out the whole time. He had no issues just taking it straight to KD. And KD knows this, and, like, you get swept. That's just, like, wow. He just almost seems, like, checked out at this point. Like,
old.
Yeah.
He got old real quick.
Very fast. Very, very fast. I think, like Ryan mentioned, it seems like maybe all those injuries started to catch up to him. Because
LeBron James should not be a better basketball player than Kevin Durant right now.
Like,
shouldn't be. But he is.
Yeah. Yeah. But, June, what do you think of your Lakers taking the gentleman's sweep to Denver?
No, the Lakers played as good as they could in this situation. Injuries throughout the season kind of plagued them. I thought they was going to have a higher seed than what they did. They ended up having to play in the play-in games. But, I mean, if you look at the games, they kept the games close. You know, they were winnable games. I mean, 2-point victory for the Nuggets in the first game, 3-point victory for the Nuggets in the third game, and then a 2-point victory for the Nuggets in the fourth game. The Lakers were in every game. So, I mean, the ball bounces, certain ways sometimes, and they just didn't have it. But shout out to Denver, man. They played their asses off, and they knew it was going to be a tough. See, they did not come out there and take the Lakers lightly.
Right.
They knew that it was going to come down, and it was going to be a dogfight every single game. And the Lakers played as well as could be expected. And if the Lakers hadn't played Denver first, they would be right back in the finals with Denver the next year, this year too. But they get one or two pieces. The Lakers grab one or two pieces. They're going to be back in the finals next year with a 41-year-old LeBron James.
Oh boy.
Malin, don't make that face.
Oh man, you give me that bitter beer face, man. What are you talking about? Like the Lakers wouldn't beat Minnesota.
Yeah, let's run that back. Lakers versus the Heat in the finals.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, Nestor wants Kevin Durant and Anthony Edwards on his team.
Oh no.
I mean, come on, June. I mean, I can give you a pass on saying the Cowboys had a B draft, but you can't tell me that the Lakers would have made it back to the Western Conference Finals. That they not started with Denver. Come on, man.
I think they would have.
Oh Lord.
They can't close the game. I will say this: that how do you, in 5 games, hold the lead for 150 minutes, and the other team holds the lead for 50 minutes, and you lose 4-1 because you're old and you're tired, and somebody needs a walker, a wheelchair, and an enema? Like that's what we're doing. Like they're old, man. Like D'Angelo Russell, one of the youngest people, like he was non-existent.
No, he wasn't. Yeah.
I mean, Anthony Davis got hurt every time his body hit the floor. He was complaining about something. He was worse than Paul Pierce in the finals against the Lakers. And I really do think that Paul Pierce shit himself. And I really do believe that rumor. I really do.
Believe it too.
I've seen the image around on the shorts. I really do think that Paul Pierce shit himself. And that's how his knee was magically better. I'm sorry, Jalen. I'm a Boston fan too, but I think he should have
Definitely did.
I think he released some squirts. But no, the Lakers weren't gonna make the finals. They played LeBron James too many minutes.
Yes.
They played Anthony Davis too many minutes. But they did that because they had to, because they got a good starting 5, maybe even a great starting 5 with those two, but they don't have the depth.
Yeah.
Their bench was non-existent. They weren't doing anything. It was like LeBron and Davis are bust. And so, yeah, by the time you get to the fourth quarter, Denver's like, all right, man, we've been resting. And the Joker, he spent 3 quarters daydreaming about his horses, and he's like, all right, man, let's kick it into gear and let's go win a basketball game. So I mean, it's gonna be Denver out of the West. It's just what it's gonna be. The Lakers just happen to be their first casualty, but I mean, go to the Western Conference Finals again. June, I love you so much. If I was, I'd give you a hug because I feel like you're dealing with things. I feel like you're projecting.
Yeah,
love this man.
The game 2 was that when Jamal Murray hit that buzzer beater. They ended that series right then and there. Yeah, he just shot him right in the heart, and Anthony Davis falls onto the Denver bench and can't even get out because they're all celebrating around him. That was it.
That was kind of sad. That was kind of sad.
Didn't they have like 2 to 3 20-point leads in this series?
Yep.
They did.
And they all evaporated. I mean, I thought Boston was bad with a 20-point lead. The Lakers were like, hold my beer. Let me show you.
Nestor, any thoughts on the Lakers? Also, I'm sorry, just real quick.
I'm glad it's over.
D'Lo had such a great regular season, hits the playoffs, and then forgets how to play basketball all over again.
Exactly.
Now, what happened to him? Like, did he have a head injury? Maybe something retarded? Like, what is
Go ahead,
motor
Nestor.
skill? What are we doing?
I'm glad it's over because I got tired of going through TikTok, and every time I watched the highlights, it was like the comments full of like, "Oh, this proves LeBron's not the GOAT." LeBron breaks or whatever. Like all these comments. Our youth is on brain rot. Like it's gone. We have no hope for our future because this man is 39 years old. Who is he going to depend on? He can't even depend on AD.
I will tell you
Rick
one thing.
Ventura-
At 39 years old, Michael Jordan does not take that team to the playoffs. At 39
Oh,
years old,
Probably not.
he doesn't. He doesn't.
No. No.
I like a little bit of the hustle from Austin Reeves, AR-15,
Yeah.
in that last game. That was
Mhm.
that was all right. But apart from him,
They got
team was
nothing
gone. I
going
hope
on.
to God LeBron goes to another team and just somehow gets up lucky and wins a chip because I want to see all these kids have their heads explode.
I think he's
That
going
would
to
be
Golden State. I think he's going to Golden State.
Oh boy.
that's yeah.
I think he is. It's going to happen. Him and Draymond, they're butt buddies. Steph Curry, they're great.
I think. I don't know. I think that
When I
team is
say
going to be
butt buddies,
broken
I mean
up.
they spoon people. You get your mind out of the gutter. They just spooning friends.
Mm.
Stop. Nestor over there in Columbia has plenty of spooning friends. I'm sorry, Sarasota. Sarasota.
Why would you say?
It's a town called Columbia in Columbia.
Yeah.
So
It's a small town outside of Sarasota. It's got like 200 people. They all spoon. It's fine.
Okay, the next series, Boston took down Miami 4-1.
Damn right.
Yeah, Miami. You know they were a little wounded. We understand that, so they stole a game in
They did.
or in Boston, game 2.
Pass out.
They stole a
And,
game. And
why is Ryan leaving? We haven't even done like trivia yet. What's going on? Hey, can I go first on this
Go
one?
ahead. Since everyone say
I got some
goodbye to Ryan. But,
Great.
Yep.
I hope Ryan's okay.
He's fine.
But anyways, Esther, you guys had one good game. It's great. Jimmy, straight hair Jimmy, probably shouldn't have gone on social media cracking jokes when he's not even playing. That's all I'm saying.
Mm.
I'm a little bit pissed off that y'all hurt Porzingis because our next series is probably going to go a game or two longer than what it needs to.
Right.
Because we won't have Porzingis, so we're going to be fucking more tired than we need to be. But we're still the best team in the league.
We're not playing Disney. It's over.
So
You guys are Orlando.
yeah, but I mean, I don't know. The fact that everyone thought after that game too that Tyler Hero was going to lead Miami to some epic comeback.
Jesus.
Mm.
Were we void of storylines with the NFL draft coming up and stuff like that? Like, I mean, I know his last name is Hero, but I thought it's closer to Euro, like a Greek thing. But we really had to have that. Like, we needed to manifest a little bit of drama. It wasn't going to happen. Yeah, Miami culture. Shut up. Like, they don't. What are we talking about? Heat culture. You haven't won anything in 12 years. So what culture do we speak of? Like, I don't understand when we say heat culture. What are we doing? Like, we give Caleb Williams a bunch of shit when he dresses up in a dress for a magazine and he paints his nails, but Jimmy Butler can come out there with straight hair and looking like a drag queen and everything. I mean, yeah, that's your culture down in South Beach. Y'all fucking wild. But the Celtics, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the finals. We'll get there. The Heat can be fizzled out down in Miami like a hurricane just ran through them. maybe like Andrews back in '90, just decimated people. That was Boston. We did that to you. So enjoy it. Have a good off season, and your team sucks.
Jesus. Oh my God.
Nestor, go ahead.
Well, I think I
Why
wasn't
is it
expecting to win
every
the
time
series.
Nestor goes to speak? Are you in a drag strip?
That was not me. That was somewhere
that
else.
wasn't him.
Don't blame
No,
that
that
shit.
was me. I live in the city now, so I don't get the. I'm
What
not,
is happening?
So I'm living in the city right off the main road, so I can hear everything. And I'm 9 stories up in my condo, so that's
Swear to
loud.
God, you live next to Talladega, man.
I think you was all the time.
Wild. All right, sorry, Nestor. Go ahead.
Sorry, Mister. I'm
No,
sorry.
I think Boston has a great squad. Really deep roster. They have Derek White and Brad Stevens has done a great job. You know, Porzingis, he's done a phenomenal job. I do think Boston's going to get to the final. Great team. I worry, like always, like we've talked about. I worry about leadership on that team. But I think if they can maintain that momentum of everybody pitches in, complete team, and they don't put their, I think the leadership issues are more of a problem than just putting your foot off the gas. But I think if they can keep that momentum, I think they're gonna get to the finals, and they could, they're gonna face a great team. But regardless of anything, I just hope this creates some momentum for Miami to kind of like, okay, yeah, sure, we hustle a little bit. Maybe we shouldn't be in the playoffs. Yeah, heat culture, great, but maybe we can just freshen up the team a little bit, let some people go. I wouldn't mind letting go of Caleb Martin. I wouldn't mind letting go of some people. Tyler Hero has to go, and just bring in some new guys, some talent. I don't know.
Y'all
Like
been trying to get
let's
rid of him.
try, because there's no reason we're gonna keep doing this for another 10 years. All right, let's get to the playoffs, heat culture, and then we aren't going anywhere.
I will say this, Nestor. I gave you a bunch of shit about heat culture, but I guarantee you, because it's the fucking Heat. We've talked about this. I said it before the playoffs. If Jimmy Butler was not hurt, this would have gone 7 games, and I would have been fucking pissed. All 7 games.
Yeah.
You still would have won, but I would have been pissed off it went 7 games.
Right.
Because I need the Boston Celtics to close people out fast. I need us rested. Because we got a man over there in the Western Conference Finals that wants to get back to his horses. And we need to be able to beat him.
How long is Porzingis out for? You guys know?
Well, they said multiple games. I don't
Yeah,
really
It's
know.
very unclear.
That's weird when they say that, but he's dealing with the same injury that Giannis has been dealing with. The only difference is I don't think the next round we're going to need Porzingis.
I don't think so
Especially
either.
if White keeps popping off. Little bald-headed White. What do we? That man had a pro last year. Next year, I mean, come on, Kevin Durant. Look at White. Look what White did and do that. Like totally better. But we're not going to need Porzingis in the next round.
He'll be all right.
We need to just go ahead and let him sit for a little bit. But he's dealing with a hamstring strain, not a pull or anything like that, but a strain, just like Giannis was. The only reason why we weren't playing Porzingis is because we didn't need him like Milwaukee tried to need them against Indiana, which is sad.
Well, who's a threat? The Knicks? I mean, at this point,
What?
that's what I'm saying. Who's a
Right,
legit
that's
threat?
where
in the
we're
Eastern
at
What
Conference?
is a threat? We're gonna roll right into the final. What are you talking about?
Exactly. You guys are gonna throw to the final. Exactly. There's nobody
Knicks
else.
had a 25-point lead and are now 5 points down in the third quarter to the fucking Philly with a one-legged Embiid, like just he's limping.
Are you hoping Disney beats out Cavs so you can go watch the game? No.
Oh God, no. I'm
Oh
actually
man,
hoping
Jalen,
that,
we would go. Oh, if we had
As we
Boston,
go.
Orlando, we're spending that money.
I'm kind of hoping that Cleveland wins, because we can't seem to win in Orlando. So that's
Okay,
two
I was
losses
about to
right
say you're
there.
0-2. You can't go. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go. You have to stay home. I'll go. Stay home because every time you go to Orlando, they
We do
lose.
not win, right? So I think I'd rather Cleveland in that instance. Um,
I
I
forgot
just,
Cleveland and Orlando were in the playoffs. To be honest with you,
Honestly, yeah.
yeah, it's its own mystery series. It's like off TV.
it's like the MCU multiverse.
Right, it's taking place somewhere
Pointing at
else.
each other right now.
Yeah, and then last but not least, we'll just hit this one briefly because we need to go to a break. But Dallas and the Clippers, where that one is 3-2 in favor of the Mavs right now. That's been a very entertaining series. Yeah, what do you guys think about the Clippers falling down 3-2 without Kawhi as of late?
Oh yeah, it's without Kawhi, but James Harden had 7 points at home in the last game. I've been saying this, and I said this at the beginning of this season. Harden is not that guy. I'm sorry. He's just not. You can't depend on the guy to lead you anywhere. He hasn't led a team anywhere. First of all, that's first thing. He hasn't led a team anywhere. Mavericks are taking advantage of the guy who doesn't play defense at all. I mean, they're killing James Harden defensively. I mean, they really are. And the Mavericks are living off that. The Clippers are playing hard. They've got some games in them because the Mavericks got some defensive lapses that they have too. But for the most part, Kawhi Leonard's out, and you got Paul George and James Harden historically have not been clutch guys. So I don't see them winning Game 6. The Mavericks is going to close this out. So,
Okay, but outside of one game against Philly, is even Kawhi Leonard been clutch?
nah,
Like,
not really
let's
this
be
season.
real. Like, we have this idea that even Kawhi is clutch, but outside of
Right.
a
That one
prayer
run.
three
Yeah.
from the corner that bounced a little bit, bunch of people in his lap, that was weird. Then all of a sudden, he's clutch with that goofy ass laugh of his. No, the Clippers are in trouble because the only problem is that they're going up against the Dallas team with Luka and Kyrie, where both of them have proven that they are clutch.
Right.
So Harden is never gotten past the Western Conference Finals when he was the main player, but he's not even the main player right now. Paul George has never gotten past the Eastern Conference Finals because he was going to be Heat. So you got these guys that they never really showed up in the playoffs like they did in the regular season. Kawhi Leonard did it a couple times. He didn't he win Finals MVP with San Antonio, which is kind of weird. When they beat Miami, I think he was Finals MVP. He wasn't Finals
I really
MVP.
don't remember.
I mean, he was when he was with San Antonio. He was one of the main reasons why they beat the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
One of the 2 times they beat them. The one time they beat him. He wasn't Finals MVP.
I just don't remember. I forget he was even there.
I remember them. I thought it was a Finals MVP when he played in San Antonio, but he's not playing. But Luka shows up. I'm gonna get started about Kyrie. I mean, I don't think Kyrie gets enough respect for what he did in the finals with Golden State. I understand LeBron James played historically great, but Kyrie hit that 3. It was just money. So you're going against up against people that have done it. So I think that LA is in trouble. They're about to get bounced out in the first round, and it'll open up a new arena with more toilets than anybody else. So that's cool. That's their claim to fame. You can take a shit in more places than the Clippers do on the court at our arena. That's cool. There you go.
Kawhi did win that
Oh.
that San Antonio final. Didn't
He did.
Yeah.
He did. Yes. Damn right.
I got to give credit to Jason Kidd in this one because after I forget what game it was, but last Sunday's game where Paul George and James Harden just went off, he switched the defensive scheme a bit and said, "Okay, we're gonna see if James Harden keep that little floater thing going, and I'm also gonna bet that PG-13 is not gonna be that hot anymore." And it worked completely. They forced a bit of the other guys to get involved, forced Russell Westbrook to be a bit of a bigger offensive role. Obviously, that wasn't going to happen. And the floater was not falling for James Harden again. And Luka and Kyrie had their way, man. And the Mavs stepped up big time. They clamped down. And the Clippers just kind of imploded offensively.
Okay, so we know that the Clippers, right? That's their worst postseason loss in franchise history.
Damn.
A franchise that is synonymous with losing. That's their worst postseason loss in franchise. Steve Ballmer drove over to that new arena and took a shit in every one of them new toilets that they built after that game. He's so goddamn mad. Just he's an angry person. Sorry about it, Bomber.
Yeah, that will do it for the first half of this week's episode. June, thank you again, good sir, for joining us. If you would like to follow Junebug on TikTok, it is linked down in the description below. Be sure to
just do it. Just follow the man.
Yeah, it's easy as that. Ain't not going to cost you a dime. Probably costs about 10 seconds. With that being said, folks, we will be back on the other side of the break with G Money. Give us about 10 minutes, and we will see you soon.
Hey. Yeah. Hey. On my way to the boat like I ain't just have on the coat when I landed. Outran it. Perched at the edge of the branches. They don't wanna talk mansions. Mine look like a campus. And I'm all about my brothers like the niggas I'm sampling. I'll leave you red shirted like the twins from Kansas. Really living my dreams I used to have in my aunt's crib.
You had Sean Kemp, you had Gary Payton. What were some of your best memories of those two guys?
I don't think people understand how freakish Sean Kemp was.
Yeah.
As a kid, it looked like he was jumping over the backboard. I'm old, Jalen. Going to the finals, I went down to Seattle 2 times to try to get Michael Jordan's autograph. He was an asshole both times.
Do you think that Howard Schultz and David Stern were in the right in that time period for asking for that amount of money?
The Sonics, again, are the only professional sports team that had won a championship up till then. You know your team is leaving, yet you see the potential because they just landed a superstar that everyone knew he was going to be the best player.
Thunder come around in 08, 09. I was either a freshman in high school or like 8th grade. By the time I was about to graduate, they were in the finals. How much did that just piss you off?
When I say that I want them to go 0-82 every year. In fact, if you want to throw the preseason games in there too, lose all those.
I think it's going to be about a 36-14 game. Tampa didn't play good last week.
I'm going to say it's probably going to be like a 32, 17, 18 game.
It's going to be close. Depends. It's not going to rain anymore. So I'm going to go with we're going to win by 10.
I'll be honest. I think a lot of Eagles fans are nervous right now. I think it's going to be a close game. This is the Julio Jones night.
This is the night where we find out what Julio Jones has left in the tank.
You're basically saying Devontae Smith ain't shit.
You know who's going to score tonight? Turn around.
That's who's going to score. Yeah. I think it's going to be 21-24 Bucks. Jalen doesn't have A.J. Brown. He's going to throw the ball to Devontae, but...
Bucks going to win it 27-23. Baker's going to drive it last minute, score a touchdown, take the lead, win the game.
All right, so he still thinks Baker plays at Oklahoma. Go ahead.
24-21 Birds, and I only think we win by 3 because AJ's out, Devontae's hurt, Jalen's hurt. We run the football, we win by 3. We go destroy the Lions when AJ comes back.
28-17 Eagles all
Did
day.
you know AFR is also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts? Click the first link in the description below to listen to the most recent episode of the show.
He won the chip.
Right. You want to see what his trophy
He whooped my ass.
Look at the unwrapped. Look at this bad boy.
That's tight.
Like we got some.
Very nice. A couple of bad drafts, but you know, the waiver wire.
Yeah, man.
You were
He was
clutch.
on it. Yeah.
Like thank Taylor for being friends without him. Let's go for the repeat.
We do a sports podcast. Okay. And I can't help but notice that somebody is wearing an inside-out neck jersey.
You know what? It's just a coincidence.
Explain what is happening right now.
Forecast was for rain. I didn't want the rain to fall on the outside.
That's all it is?
Because I love Dak. He's the best quarterback in the league. Big Mike's the best coach ever. Dallas's D is awesome. Yesterday was just unlucky. We'd won the coin toss. It was a Cowboys win. It was all about the coin toss.
Let's talk defense. You're wearing the Cardinals hat. You don't get a say. Dan Quinn. I don't want him as my coach.
Oh, he's gonna be though.
I don't want him to be.
I heard a stat today. Green Bay has won more playoff games at AT&T Stadium than Dallas. Do you know if that's true?
It probably is.
I heard.
So you still love that?
No. Mike's gotta go. Big Mike's gotta go. Dan Quinn's gotta go. Jerry's gotta rip this shit up.
Who do you want to replace Dak then?
Don't say Russell Wilson.
I was gonna just ask you, would you trade Russell Wilson straight up for Dak?
No!
I wouldn't either now.
You went Browns to Bills?
No, I was a Buffalo fan and a Cleveland fan.
No.
They're in different leagues when I
Well, they were all in the AFC. Oh, okay. Fuck the Bucks! Awesome! Go fucking Eagles! Fuck you!
Hold on, ramparts we watch of the free. Let's go, Bucks! We celebrate Dr. Who's legacy.
I hate you so much. Alright, kill with the sniper. There is so much man on man happening right now.
Bird. You feeling good, man?
I ain't worried, man. I'm gonna tell them the truth. We not worried. We go score in this drive.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield for game. His name is Baker Mayfield.
Oh,
okay. The nigga got AIDS.
For my dark horse pick, Min-Woo Lee, baby.
Holy
We're going
shit.
back. This is his year, man.
I will go Siwoo Kim.
Siwoo
Kim. Nah, I'm confused. What did you pick?
Tiger Woods. He's plus 12,500 at BetMGM. Stranger things have happened.
Uncle OJ passed away today, so tonight we raise him on high.
He is going to be the NFL's first Gen Z quarterback. Does he have thick enough skin to be an NFL starting quarterback?
As good as he is, why would he work out when the past countless amount of Bears quarterbacks have not worked out? Chicago is not a team that's going to put him in a winning position.
The USC woman, I actually don't even remember her name because she's actually not that important. She's giving a speech 2 weeks ago. And she says that she doesn't think that Caitlin Clark broke her record because you can't duplicate what's not being duplicated. And she cited the fact that she used a men's ball and that there was no 3-point line. And I'm like, can we not just give flowers to people that deserve flowers? This should be a time for women across the country to celebrate greatness.
If it's us versus them, who you think gon' win? If it's us versus them, who you think gon' win? If it's us versus them, who you think gon' win? Better not drop that pen. We gon' spin again. I'ma spin. We gon' slide. Drop that pen, pussy nigga, come outside. I been running up that check and I ain't tired. Ain't shed another tear since when my grandma died. I got an all-white rose with the bloody guts inside. Ain't shit sweet and try. Stepping in shoes is not your size. Niggas ain't step. The back of the Maybach, I sit and recline. Think about what? And I got freaking lens all on my mind. And chrome the spine. What else? Chrome the 9. Then what? Bulletproof the ride. We spin the block and yell like he ain't outside. Heard he had a wedding, he must be the bride. I take them pies, subtract them in the vibe. For that other shit, I'm going for the win. Pulled up with that bitch, then pulled up with a friend.
Welcome back to the show, folks. The second half of your favorite podcast on the internet. After further review, episode 186. G Money, what's going on?
You know, man, I am enjoying the sunshine and warm weather up here in the PNW, but it like the NBA playoffs is going to change real quick. It's going to turn to shit tomorrow. So, you know, it's like all those are watching the games and going, "Yeah, my team won." Yeah, but you know, just first round, just the first round, people. Still, especially my Boston fans who, you know, have that ticket punched to the NBA Finals. We'll have to see.
Well, G Money is going to be our resident pessimist when it comes to the Celtics on this
Austin
show.
hater. Yeah. There we go. Somebody has to be on this show.
Yes. Let's raise the second half shots on high. Cheers, gentlemen.
I'm tired of drinking Stella.
We should go back to the BBC.
You will never go back.
They're waiting for you in a dark alley.
Back room, bathroom.
I'm not going to respond.
All right, let's move on to the next topic of the week. One that comes up every once in a while here. Mahlon's Misery in 5. This is where Mahlon's got a few minutes to detail something that is causing him misery in the world of sports. And we've got a couple minutes to then respond. So, Mahlon, the floor is yours.
Okay, so hear me out on this, because I know that we're predominantly football and basketball. But I'm at my wit's end with umpires in baseball. I really am. There are so many egos when it comes to strike zones. the way they throw people out. There was just a game last week where the New York Yankees manager got thrown out of a game because somebody in the stands behind him decided to heckle the ump behind home plate, and he thought it was Aaron Boone, and he threw him out. And when Aaron Boone was like, "I didn't even say it; it was someone in the stands," and the ump goes, "I don't care, you're out." Like, there's so much ego going on with these umps, and everybody complains about it. They don't want to relegate it. Like, there should be some sort of relegation. Like in the NFL, if you're a bad referee and you're like you don't stick around. But also at the same time, Major League Baseball, the players, well, not even the players, the fans, they shit on every call on these umps. They just shit on them all the time. Oh, they're terrible. Oh, they're terrible. But then when they hear that, well, we might go to, automatic strike zones and we'll use computers, then they're like, well, I'm going to stop watching baseball because we don't have the human element anymore. So I'm like, what the fuck do you want? You crazy ass people. You either want the umps to keep having bad calls, or you don't want the computer system to regulate the calls, because then it takes out the human element that you bitch about. And even the players don't want the automatic strike zone. They want the human element, but they bitch about the human element. I'm like, all of you are in a circle jerk circle. And you're all wrong, and we need to stop this. We need to relegate these bad umps that are just terrible. And we need to get some sort of consistency going on in Major League Baseball with the strike zone. It's pissing me off. It's out of hand. These umps are crazy. Tons of egos. Fans are stupid. Players are retarded. I don't know what we're doing, but we need to fix it. It pisses me off. It really does. Like, everyone's complaining, but nobody likes the answer. So
classic.
Hell with all of them. Meanwhile, my Mariners are in the AL West. There you go. Vote for your Senators.
Do you guys have any response?
Well, I mean, Mahlon's right, and I don't say that very often. I'm a hurtful type of guy, but no, and it's not just in Major League Baseball. I mean, you can see it in the NBA, and at times you can even see it in the NFL. Difference between the Major League Baseball, the NBA, and the NFL is Major League Baseball and the NBA. Those refs ostensibly are professionals, whereas the NFL refs don't have a contract. There's not a union for them. They're kind of like, yeah, if you're not good, I don't care, we'll get rid of you. Can't do that with Major League Baseball, and you don't really see it unless they really make a mistake, like get busted for gambling. You don't see them disappearing in the NBA either. Yeah, it would be nice to go to the automated strike zone, right? Have that, because they're doing it in the minor leagues. This isn't something new like they haven't seen before. Yeah. And I watched the game the other night where for the first like six innings, the strike zone was like 3 inches outside, and then it changed. And I'm like, okay, you were consistent for 6 innings, and in the last 3 innings, that wasn't a strike anymore. It's like, you got to be consistent.
Any game that Angel Hernandez is the umpire for, Major League Baseball, if he has a beef with a batter, you're not winning that game. Like, that strike zone is non-existent. You could throw the ball a foot outside of the strike zone, and he's calling it a strike. Like, it's insane what happened. So I'm sorry, Jalen. That's my misery in 5. I know we're NFL, we're NBA, but I'm losing my mind with referee like G-Money on all sports. all sports, man. NBA is terrible in the last 2 minutes of a game.
Yeah.
They are atrocious. They let so many things go, but then with 58 seconds left, a ticky tack. Oh yeah, go ahead and go to the free throw line.
Yeah.
It turns into a different game in the last 2 minutes.
Like, are they all mentally retarded? Like, are we giving them psychedelic drugs before they start the game? Like, I don't know what's happening, but it's stupid. We need to fix it because you're hurting the integrity of the sport. Like, I get the human element. You want the human element. But when the human element fucks up more than O.J. Simpson, you have a problem. Just saying.
I try not to watch baseball because with all my teams performing the way they do, I don't need more. Marlins are like, what, 9-24? I don't need to add my misery. Not good. I know. I think Angel Hernandez is like what? Yeah, I think he's Cuban. So I get the ego part. Some of us try to keep that part very dormant. Others we don't do so well with that. I know he had a situation with the Texas Rangers. But like I said, I try not to dabble too much in baseball. Though from time to time I peak, and I have peaked this season, and we're not doing so good. So.
Look, might be Angel Hernandez. The officiating is just terrible everywhere. Whatever.
Well, appreciate the baseball, the MLB, ride or die, misery in 5. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's jump into the ride or die in 5 because last week basically had a week off from it because of the draft, but we are back into full swing here. We're gonna have a bit of a shorter one this week just because of the way that the NBA playoffs has kind of gone here. So last week's records are really from 2 weeks ago, where Mahlon and I went 4-1, and then Nestor went 3-2, and then G Money went 2-3. So I am plus 53. Mahlon is plus 52, and then G Money and Nestor are tied at plus 29. So we've got...
Wow, we're the top half and the bottom half.
I know.
We're pretty close.
It's close. It's close.
Yes.
Close.
And I should have taken my own advice with Sacramento, but that's what happens when you overthink something.
So because it's supposed to be 5 games that we pick, but we really only have 3 because the rest is just not really determined yet. So we're going to start off with Cleveland in Orlando, which is tomorrow night at 7:00, Game 6. G Money, we will start with you. Who are you taking in Orlando?
Orlando. The home team has won every single game in this series, and Orlando at home has freaking spanked Cleveland. I don't quite understand it because I'm looking at the stats and everything, but they have. I don't know if freaking when Cleveland goes down to Orlando, they go to Disney World and ride Magic Mountain or something. Don't know what they do, but they don't play basketball.
It was called Splash.
Yeah, well,
I know we got some different things going on in Orlando, but it's not called Magic Mountain. I don't know.
Drop some shrooms and it'll be Magic Mountain.
Well, they dropping more.
It's called Space Mountain.
But anyway, now give me Orlando on this one.
Jalen just wants to quit the show right now.
He's been on that ride like 10 times.
Wait, Nathan, did you say you've been on a ride like that before?
No, I'm saying, never mind.
Damn.
I don't want to
This
expand
man's
on
been
this.
Magic Rainbow Ride, Mister.
I'm going to take
All right.
the Magic at home. I think this one's going to 7 games. It's only, first of all, it's only fitting that this series that literally no one cares about would go to 7 games.
No
But,
one knows about.
Yeah, I think most people are literally not aware that the Magic nor the Cavs are in the playoffs. But like G Money said, the Magic or both teams, they've held down their home courts. So then the Magic, they'll be in Orlando. They'll take their Mickey Mouse magic and sprinkle a little bit on the court like they seem to always do, and win Game 6. Why not? That place will be going just bananas, and we get them all hyped for Game 7 that Cleveland will inevitably win back in Cleveland. So give me the Magic. Nestor.
I can even no. Give me the Magic. Like G Money said, they're pretty good at home. Every win has been almost a blowout, basically. So when they've played at home, so this will go the same way. Maybe a little bit closer, but I feel like the Magic will win this one, and they'll go to Game 7 for no reason.
Literally none. Go ahead, Mahlon.
You guys are probably happy about this because they're gonna be tired of stuff.
Cleveland, Orlando is like Atlantis. Everybody forgets about you, and then nobody can find you because you're on True TV. Nobody cares. Everybody forgot this is actually a series. But let's be honest, it's the most non-compelling series in like 20 years. But let's go ahead and take the Magic. For everything that G Money said, and 64% of the money in Vegas right now is going in Orlando, right? And I don't know. Let's go Orlando. Let's go ahead and go to Game 7 for a series that nobody will remember in like 30 days. Fine. Good. This is why you shouldn't be a middle of the road NBA team, Jalen. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Cleveland or Orlando, they're terrible. You might as well be Charlotte at this point. Just stop it. Atlanta with Trae Young is more compelling.
Right. I'm
than
pretty
these two
sure
teams.
Game 1, neither team even crossed 100 points. It was that bad. Later Friday night, we've got Clippers and Mavs Game 6. I'll go first here. I'm going to take the Mavs to close this one out. They did the heavy lifting the other night by winning in LA to get the leg up. And I think back in Dallas, they'll take care of their business here. The way that they played, it seems like they kind of figured out how to handle LA's offense. And yeah, just give me the Mavs here at home. Close this thing out in 6 games. Nestor.
Yeah, give me the Mavs. I don't feel like the Clippers have any solution for what's happening right now. Kyrie Irving is hot. The team is finding role players off the bench. So I think they're going to close this one out. Give me the Mavs.
Mahlon?
I don't know the last time I looked at a spread in the playoffs where a team was an 8-point favorite.
Wow.
In Vegas. Wild. Vegas has given up on the Clippers. America has given up on the Clippers 35, 40 years ago. I'm going to go ahead and take Dallas. They're going to go ahead and win it. Like I said, Ballmer, go take a shit in all those bathrooms that you have. Have fun. The Clippers are done. We're going Dallas.
Man, G Money.
Paul George, please go to a different team.
He's going
I mean, Doncic scores 35 points, 7 boards, and 10 assists on a bum knee and the flu. That tells you they're not playing any defense. The Clippers are old. They're older than me, and I'm old as dirt.
I mean, I don't think they're older than you.
Cumulatively, they are, and they play.
No, you're the dirt that they'll be buried in.
I mean,
You're close.
they play old. I mean, they do. They play old.
Harden put his fat bodysuit back on after game one.
I honestly don't see, unless Doncic is out completely, Kyrie falls on the way in and starts complaining the earth is flat again, and that's why he fell. He can't play now. Anyway, the Clippers win this game. I don't. And Mahlon's right. Point spread is one of the largest point spreads you're going to see for a playoff game, and a lot of the money is on Dallas.
All right, and then last one here, Saturday, game one between the T-Wolves and the Nuggets. Nestor, we will start with you. Who are you taking here?
I like Denver game one. I think it's gonna be a really good series. Probably one of the better series in this playoff. But I feel like Denver's gonna take game one, and then we're gonna see, like I said, a very competitive series. Because I think Minnesota's, played a team that's just dirt trash, and now they're facing a team that you don't know how, but their moments they play really well. So they're gonna run into kind of like a brick wall when it comes to that. They'll keep it close, but I think Denver, like I said, will take game one.
Mahlon?
I'm going to take Denver on this. I just think at home, I think Murray is that X factor that you just can't. He can be mediocre for 3 quarters, and then all of a sudden hit these clutch shots. So you're like, okay, Murray, like you're a fringe all-star, but you end up acting like an all-pro when it mattered. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Denver on this one. I think that Minnesota is good. I think if they weren't facing Denver in this series, maybe they would have gone to the Western Conference Finals, but they're facing Denver right now. I don't see Denver losing game one. So I'm taking Denver.
G Money.
I keep looking at this game, and I keep thinking, yeah, Denver should win it. They're at home.
He's about to go off the rails.
But I look, Anthony Edwards, probably the best shooting guard in this series.
He might be
I think
best
combination
NBA right now.
Yeah,
he might be. He might be. I don't know though. I mean,
out this year,
but the combination of Cat and Gobert. I think Gobert matches up well against the Joker. They're both big and hard to move at times when they're down low in the post. I think Cat will force the Joker either come out and play him or stay in and protect the rim. And Cat's pretty damn good at 3 points. I've been surprised, I think, the last few years about how big men shoot the three. Back in my day, they didn't. They were low post players. You wouldn't see a center taking a 3-point shot unless it was a desperation shot. But now, I mean, the last 4 or 5 years, easily, most of your big men can shoot threes. I'm going to take Minnesota. I think they're going to come in. I think they're going to surprise Denver. And let's not forget that those Laker games, they were close, and they could have gone either way, right at the end. I'm going to take Minnesota. Give me Minnesota.
G Money's trying to get up on Nestor here. Good play.
G
Good
Money
play.
and I are on the same wavelength right now because I'm also going to take Minnesota to steal game one
shit.
in Denver. This was the matchup that I was hoping for months now. I really fully believe like the best team the team that's most capable of beating the Nuggets is the Minnesota Timberwolves because of that matchup and the size that they have. I love the fact that Rudy or Cat could be put onto Jokic, and I think that they could do a very good job, especially Gobert on Jokic. But Ant-Man is having a career year right now. I think Jaden McDaniels is a pretty good defensive answer to Jamal Murray. I really like the Timberwolves and where they're at right now, and I can see them easily stealing game one and just catching the Nuggets by surprise on their own home court. So I will take
Jalen, I just want to say thank you because that's how I catch you.
These are the tiebreakers.
Yeah, right here. These are tiebreakers. This is how we inch closer. We're getting that top spot. If that rashy ass horse loving motherfucker doesn't win, I'm gonna be pissed.
Injured first quarter.
Serbians. Better be good for something. And it better be winning basketball games.
Yeah, that's gonna be all eyes on that game on Saturday for sure.
Yeah.
Were we literally done at 11?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, speaking of the NBA, it looks like the NBA will be signing a new media deal. And no one knows what that means. They signed that new media deal probably right after the NBA Finals. They're expanding 2 teams.
And we get the Sonics.
There we are, see?
The Tampa Raptors.
I will be able. Shut the fuck up, Nestor. I will be able to enjoy the Celtics winning an NBA Finals before I have to switch back to my original allegiance of the Seattle Sonics.
If Tampa gets an NBA team, traffic.
Now, Tampa is not getting an NBA.
Done.
It's Vegas and Seattle.
Tampa, no more.
Tampa is
Tampa
not
doesn't even. Tampa doesn't even have a stadium for that.
It's Las Vegas and it's Seattle.
They'll move the Lightning to like Sarasota. Just...
They are. It is going to be Las Vegas and Seattle. I will get my Sonics back. I'm happy for that. Jalen, at that moment, when my Sonics start to play, my allegiance has to go home.
That is
apologize.
Fair.
Hope you understand.
That is fair.
Yeah, Clay Bennett. I hope you die. I hope a bus runs into you at some point in your life. Because you stole my team from me, and you deserve to die a horrific death. In fact, I hope a bus runs over you, and then several other cars hit you, and nobody can identify the body. So you're just lost out there, Clay Bennett, because you're a piece of shit. And David Stern, I hope a Boeing 747 lands on your house, because you're a piece of shit and allowing all that to happen.
That's landing on several houses.
His grave, because he's gone.
Oh, he died? David Stern died?
A few years ago, yeah.
Oh, David Stern died a few years ago?
The thing was, he died like a few days before
Well, land
Kobe,
on his
so
grave then. I don't give a shit. Obliterate his grave. That's what I want to happen. Anybody that was responsible for me losing my Sonics, I hope you have nothing but death and incest in your family. I want to be honest. That's all I hope for you.
What should be Vancouver and Montreal.
I don't know why Nestor all of a sudden sounds nervous, like he had something to do with it. I don't.
Yeah. Vancouver already had a team. It was the Grizzlies. They moved to Memphis. And Canada's
John Moran out here throwing guns at people. There we go.
Montreal and
Tampa.
They should have kept him in Vancouver. He ain't got no gun rights in Canada. John Morant would have been fine. There we go.
That's right.
Yeah, we should
I
probably
mean, they would have.
Yeah, we need to end there before we descend
So
anything further.
get out of here.
Folks, we will see you next week for 187, where we will have a full, well, I would imagine we have a full slate of ride or die games by then.
We should.
Right. Have a good week.
Ooh.
See you all next time. Peace.